Namaskaram. In today's video, we will be looking at the word by word meaning of Sri Lalita Sahasranamam Stotram.
ॐ श्रीमाता श्रीमहाराज्ञे श्रीमत्सिंहासनेश्वरी चिदग्निकुण्डसम्भूता देवगार्यसमुद्यता.
This stanza means, O salutations to the mother, who is the very form of imperishable prosperity, signifying her creative role, is the great empress assuming the role of protector of the universe, representing her protective role, who is seated on the mountain perch of the throne, embellished with lion, denoting her role in the ultimate dissolution of the universe, who is born from the blazing fire of knowledge, representing the ultimate truth, who is ever engrossed in the beneficial functions of taking care of the gods.
उद्यत्मानसहस्रापाचदर्बाहुसमन्विता रागस्वरूपवाशाढ्या क्रोधागाराङ्कुशोज्ज्वला.
Lustrous like the dazzle of 1,000 rising suns, sporting 4 arms, holding a binding lasso in her rear left arm, representing the will of love, signifying her Ichha Shakti, power of will, who folds the flashing Ankusha goad, shines representing the character of an anger burning of all evils, in her rear right arm, signifying her Jnana Shakti, power of superior intelligence.
मनोरूपेक्षु बोधण्डा पञ्चतन्मात्रसायका निजारुणप्रभापूरमज्जब्रह्माण्डमण्डला.
She yields the mental faculty in the form of sugarcane in her left forearm. She sports the 5 arrows representing the 5 senses: sound, touch, sight, taste, and smell. Bow and arrows signify her Kriya Shakti, power of action. She makes all the world submerge in the grand brilliance of her saffron hue, resembling the rising sun.
भगाशोकपुन्नागसौगन्धिकलसत्कजा पुरुविन्दमणिश्रेणीगणकोडीरमण्डिता.
She bedecks her shining hair with charming fragrant flowers like Champaka, Ashoka, Punnanga, Saugandhika, adorning them. She has a crown lustrous with rows of Kuruvinda gems studded therein.
अष्टमी चन्द्रविभ्राजदलिकस्थलशोभिता मुखचन्द्रकलङ्कापमृतनाभिविशेषदा.
Arching like the crescent moon of the 8th day from the lunar shines her charming forehead. The analogy of the moon is further extended by her tilaka mark of fragrant musk like the black spot on the moon.
वदनस्वरमाङ्गल्यगृहतोरणचिल्लिका वक्त्रलक्ष्मी वरीवाहचलन्मीनावलोचना.
She has attractive eyelids appearing as auspicious banners at the entrance of the residence of Manmatha, the god of love. She has shining eyes like fish swimming in the flood of beauty of her face.
नवचम्पकपुष्पापनासा दण्डविराजिता ताराकान्तितिरस्कारिनासाभरणपासुरा.
She shines with a nose like a freshly blossomed champaka flower. She glows with a nose ornament which excels the luster of stars.
कदम्बमञ्जरीक्लृप्तवर्णपूरमनोहरा ताडङ्गयुगलीभूततवनोडुपमण्डला.
She has a charming bunch of kadamba flowers decorating her ears. She sports the sun and the moon as the pair of her ear studs.
पद्मरागशिलादर्शपरिपाविकपोलुको नवविद्रुमबिम्बश्रेण्यकारिरदनश्र.
Her cheeks more shiny than a mirror made of the gem Padmaraga, ruby, and her lips shining beautifully, censor even the glorious brilliance of new corals and bimba fruit.
शुद्धविद्याङ्कुराकारद्विजपङ्क्तिद्वयोज्ज्वला कर्पूरवीटिकामोदसमागस्रद्दिगन्धर.
Her cheeks more shiny than the mirrors we have seen. Her beauty is enhanced by a pair of rows of teeth which seem to be germinated sprouts of pure knowledge from the 16 letters. She chews betel leaf, tambula consisting of cardamom, clove, camphor, musk, and other spices, dispersing in all directions her sweet fragrance. Her voice is sweeter than the musical notes generated by the flute Veena, called Kachapi, of goddess Saraswati, and she displays a gentle, lustrous smile which appears like the stream in which the mind of Kameshwara, her consort, gets submerged and revels in. The peerless beauty of her charming chin is uncomparable with any other. Her neck is adorned with the Mangal Sutra, the sacred string tied by bridegroom around the bride's neck to signify their marital bond, tied by Kameshwara, her consort. She sports a pair of beautiful arms with attractive armlets of gold. She is adorned with a necklace swinging with pearls with a pendant embedded with gems. Her breasts resemble gem-studded pots aroused by the passionate love of Kameshwara for her. Her two breasts are like ripened fruits atop a growth of creeper from the bed of the navel. Her waist appears to be designed as a support for the creeper of hair holding aloft her breasts. She has 3 lines and folds on her abdomen as if to protect and support the waist from the weight of her own breasts above. She has a waistcloth in saffron silk, shining bright. There is also a hip band, charming with the small red colored ruby studded bells, producing a sweet tinkle. She has a pair of beautiful and tender thighs known only to Kameshwara, her consort. She shines with her pair of knees, which seem to be crowns made of manikya gems. She has shanks, 4 legs, resembling the quiver of Cupid, god of love, hovering around which are insects called Indragopas, similar to bees. Her ankles are smoothly rounded, the upper part of her feet resembling the beautiful shellback of the tortoise. The brilliance of her shining toenails dispel the darkness and ignorance from the minds of devotees who bow down before her. She sports a pair of feet which excel even the beauty of lotus with their exquisite charm. She has a pair of feet resembling the lotus adorned with gem-studded anklets, producing musical notes. She moves with a measured, slow gait like the swan. She is a treasure of divine beauty. Every facet and aspect of her is of saffron hue. Like her dress, ornaments, physical appearance, she has body of flawless disposition. She is bedecked with all appropriate ornaments in every part of herself. She is seated on the lap of Kameshwara, conqueror of all desires, and is herself the very form of auspiciousness, exclusive for and of Shiva. She has her beloved well integrated with her.
സുമേരുമത്യശൃംഗസ്ഥ ശ്രീമന്നഗരനായിക ചിന്താമണിഗൃഹാന്തസ്ഥ പഞ്ചബ്രഹ്മാസനസ്ഥിത.
She resides in the midst of the peak of Mount Meru. She is the ruler of Srinagara. She reposes in the house of Chintamani, which is the repository of all mantra chants capable of conquering all wishes. She has her posture of rest, the five Brahmas: Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra, Ishana, and Sadashiva.
മഹാപത്മാടവീ സംസ്ഥാഗതംബവനവാസിനി സുധാസാഗരമധ്യസ്ഥ കാമാക്ഷി കാമദായിനി.
She is established amongst dense cluster of lotuses resembling a forest. Mahapadma also refers to the superior class of elephants in the forest region of Tiruvanika, where goddess resides in the name of Akhilandeshwari. She is the residence of Kadambavana. Kadambavana is the court immediately surrounding the Manipadma court, which encircles the Chintamani house. Madurai is also known as Kadambavana, where the goddess resides as Meenakshi. She also has a residence in the midst of Sudhasagara, ocean of nectar. Kanchipuram, in which she resides by the name Kamakshi, is also called Sudhasagara. As Kamakshi, she confers by her mere glance the fulfillment of all wishes and desires of her devotees. She is the giver of all that is wished for. She possesses the glorious self of hers, being extolled by the combined group of gods and sages. She is accompanied by the powerful army intent on slaying Bhandasura. She is served by the elephant brigade originated from the goad led by goddess Sampatkari. She is surrounded by a cavalry of crores of horses originating from the lasso under the leadership of goddess Ashwarudha. She is seated aloft the chariot of Sri Chakra with 9 stories equipped with ornaments of every kind. Knowledge of the true self in the arm cachet. She is served by Mantrini, goddess of music, seated on the chariot 7-layered Geya Chakra originating from the bow of sugarcane. She is guided from the front by Dandanatha or Varahi, seated on chariot Kirichakra, originating from the 5 arrows with 5 layers. She is at the center of a protective circumference of fire created by goddess Jwala Malini, the 14th deity of Tithi deities. She is pleased extremely with the prowess displayed by the goddesses in destroying the army of Bhandasura, evil arising from arrogant ego. She was entrusted by the sight of the valor of Nitya deities, proven and accomplished spiritual powers of the self. She is delighted at the valor displayed by her daughter Bala in annihilating the sons of Bhandasura, who is tainted arrogance. She was pleased at the slaying of Vishangha, the brother of Bhandasura, by goddess Mantrini. Vishanga is the passion for sexual pleasures.
शुक्रप्राणहरणवाराही वीरनन्दिता कामेश्वरमुखालोक कल्पितश्रीगणेश्वर.
She is pleased at the power of goddess Varahi, who killed Vishukra, brother of Bhandasura. Vishukra is the ignorance blunting the intelligence of the beings. She created God Sri Mahaganapati by the mere glancing of the face of Kameshwara.
महागणेशनिर्विघ्न विघ्नेन्द्रप्रहर्षिता भण्डासुरेन्द्रनिर्मुक्तशस्त्रप्रत्यस्त्रवर्षिणी.
She becomes ecstatic at the destruction by Ganesha of the Vigna Yantra created by Vishukra to obstruct any action. She releases innumerable missiles to conquer the missile attack embarked upon by Bhandasura.
कराङ्गुलिनहोत्पन्ननारायणदशाकृति महापाशुपतास्त्रात्म्यनर्तत्तासुरसैनिक.
She created the 10 incarnations of Vishnu from her fingernail to defeat the 10 demons created by Bhandasura by his magical power. Bhandasura discharged his Sarva Sura missile, from which all the demons like Hiranyakashyapa, Hiranyaksha, Ravana, etc., were magically created but were destroyed by the respective traditional incarnations of Vishnu. She burned down the demon forces with the fire of the mighty Pashupata missile. She burned down Bhandasura together with his capital city of Shunyaka with Kameshwara missiles, fire of consciousness. Her glorious manifold powers are being exalted, praised by Brahma, Vishnu, and Indra. She is the medicinal herb who restored to Manmatha, the god of love, from ashes after he burned down by the fire from Shiva's eye. Her lotus face, representing the Vagbhava Kuta, is the subtle form of the goddess. The central Kamaraj is her form below the navel up to the waist. The part of the body below the waist, the Shakti Kuta. She is the soul of the root mantra or the root cause of all. She is the composite body of the three kutas, groups of the Pancha Dakshari mantra. She relishes the Kutamrita, the nectar that flows from the 1,000-petaled lotus at the crown of the head, in the exalting state of Satchidananda. In the state of oneness with the absolute Brahma, she enjoys the state of one who sees the very sight and the object of perception. She safeguards securely the Kula, the doctrines. Kula is the repository of all the earthly elements in the Adhara Chakra, base chakra, Mooladhara, and the Sushmana channel through which the energy rises. She is a chaste damsel. All arts can be learnt from any expert, but Sri Vidya should be learned from intimate family member only. Lalita, being Sri Vidya herself, chaste specially to her consort Shiva, she is established in Kula, the third fold aspect of seer, sight, and the seen, and has to be known accordingly. She is Kaulini as a blend of both Shiva and Shakti. Kaulam means Shiva, Shakti, and Akulam means Shiva. She links the six chakras of the body into synchronous functioning. She is in the Sahasrara Padma, the thousand petal lotus. Beyond all the six chakras, she is in the Samaya, the worship of Shiva and Shakti in one's own heart without any external rituals. In this form of worship, there are five identities common for Shiva and Shakti: installation, observance, uninstallation, name, and form. She is keen on the mental worship in the gradual upward progress from the Mooladhara chakra through the six chakras. This is known as Samaya chakra, Samaya chara.
മൂലാധാരൈക നിലയ ബ്രഹ്മഗ്രന്ഥി വിഭേദിനി മണിപൂരാന്തരുദിത വിഷ്ണുഗ്രന്ഥി വിഭേദിനി.
She primarily resides in the Mooladhara chakra. Mooladhara is a four-petal lotus in the midst of which is situated the Kula Kunda. Kundalini resides here in a dormant state. She resides in Brahmaswarupani Devi in the Swadhisthana chakra with a six-petal lotus and the snap the knot called Brahmagandhi, and also clears the complications in that channel, thus making one overcome the cycle of birth and death. She appears charming with all her adornments in the Manipuraka chakra, resident of Manipuraka chakra, a 10-petal lotus as Vishnumurti. She makes one override the bondage of existence.
ആജ്ഞാചക്രാന്തരാളസ്ഥ രുദ്രഗ്രന്ഥി വിഭേദിനി സഹസ്രാരാംബുജാരൂഢ സുധാസാരാഭിവർഷിണി.
She is positioned in the Agya chakra between the two eyelids. Residing in the Agya chakra as Rudramurti, she shatters the Rudra Grandhi, thus releases one from the passion of worldly existence, thus released from the cycle of birth and death. This is the ultimate state before the attainment of merger with the absolute truth, consciousness, and bliss in the Sahasrara. She has ascended to the Sahasrara, the ultimate state of conferring bliss. Poised in the Sahasrara, she showers the ambrosia of bliss through all channels.
തടില്ലത സമരജി ഷഡ്ചക്രോപരി സംസ്ഥിത മഹാസക്തി കുണ്ടലിനി ഉസദണ്ഡിതന്യതി.
She dazzles like a steady flash of lightning. She is established above all the six chakras. She is the greatest energy. She is resident of the Mooladhara chakra as a serpent of 3.5 coils, Kundala, having a deep breath, which is the life breath of the individual. All efforts in Kundalini Yoga is to elevate this life breath through the six chakras up to the Sahasrara when the soul merges with the Absolute into total bliss. She is slender like the lotus pistil string of part. She is known as Kaumari in the Mooladhara, Taruni just above the Anahata vibration beyond the Agneya chakra, and the chaste consort of Sadashiva in the Sahasrara.
ഭവാനി പാവനാഗമ്യ ഭവാരണ്യകുഠാരിക ഭദ്രപ്രിയ ഭദ്രമൂർത്തിർഭക്ത സൗഭാഗ്യദായിനി.
She is Bhavani, the consort of Bhava Shiva. Bhavani is the samsaric life. Bhava is the samsaric life in the world with its continuous cycle of birth and death. She infuses life in samsara. She is capable of being attained through meditational technique. She is the axe to fell the wood of samsara. She loves rendering auspicious good to her devotees. She is auspiciousness personified. She confers good luck on her devotees.
ഭക്തിപ്രിയ ഭക്തിഗമ്യ ഭക്തിവശ്യ ഭയാവഹ ശംഭവി ശാരദാരാധ്യ സർവാണി ശർമ്മദായിനി.
She is enchanted by the devotion in any of its 9 forms. She is attainable through true devotion. She is capable of being brought under one's influence and sway through devotion to her. She eliminates all fear. She is Shambhavi, the consort of Shambhu. She is worshipped during the auspicious Navratri season, 9 nights of the autumn. She is the wife of Shiva, who is known as Sharva, the form of auspiciousness. She confers auspicious comfort.
Chandari Srigari Satvi Sharatchandra Nibanana Shadodari Shadumadi Nirakara Niranjana.
She is Shankari, the consort of Shankara. She is the spouse of Vishnu, who is conferring all auspicious goods. She endows one with all prosperity and wealth. She is ever devoted to her husband, a patron of virtue. She sports a face bright but pleasantly dimmed, like the autumnal moon. She possesses a slender waist. She displays a pure, peaceful, and calm disposition. She does not need any support except herself, and she is the support for all. She is free from all faults.
Nirleba Nirmala Nitya Nirakara Nirakula Nirguna Nishkala Shanta Nishkama Nirvapra.
She is devoid of any attachment. She is free from taint of any kind. She is eternally of immutable form. She is not limited to by any form. She is never distressed and is not in the reach of confused minds. She is beyond the pale of the three dispositions of sattva, rajas, and tamas. She does not comprise of any parts and is an indivisible entity. She is the very peace and calmness of herself. She is bereft of any desire. As all her desires have been fulfilled, she never has dissolution.
Nityamukta Nirvigara Nishprabhanja Nirasraya Nityashuddha Nityabuddha Niravatya Nirandara.
She is eternally free. She is immutable. She is not bound by the universal ties. She does not depend on any protection for support. She is perpetual, pristine, and pure. She is eternally of an enlightened knowledge. She is never blameworthy of anything. She is infinite continuum without interspaces.
Nishkarana Nishkalanga Nirvadhara Nirishara Niragara Gamadana Narmada Madanashini.
She is not the result of any cause. She is totally untainted. She does not have a cause and an effect relationship, either for her origin or existence. She has none sovereign over her. She has no passionate attachments or desire. She removes the passionate attachment of all her devotees. She has no arrogant fixations in her mind. She destroys any arrogant disposition of her devotees.
Nishinda Nirahangara Nirmoha Mohanashini Nirmama Mamada Handri Nishpava Bhavanashini.
She is free of any concern or worry. She is devoid of ego. She is bereft of delusion. She removes all delusive thoughts. She does not entertain any selfish tendencies. She also eradicates selfish traits. She is not tainted by any sin. She drives away all sins.
Nishkrodha Krodha Shamani Nirlopa Lopanashini Nisamshaya Samshayatmi Nirbhava Pavanashini.
She is devoid of anger. She does away with anger emotions. She shows no greed. She eradicates greedy nature. She is not of doubting disposition. She clears all doubts. She has no origin. She releases one from the cycle of birth and death.
Nirvikalpa Nirabadha Nirbheda Vedanashini Dharmasya Mrityamadani Nishkriya Nishparigraha Nistur.
She is of firm view, without contradictory opinions. She is not affected by anything. She does not exhibit any tendency for differentiation from one singular entity. She eliminates all trends towards divisive traits. She is indestructible. She takes away the fear of death from her devotees. She has no indulgence in any action. She is not the recipient of any assistance from outside.
Nilachipura Nirapaya Niratwaya Durlapa Durgama Durga Dukhandri Sukhaprada.
She is incomparable. She sports a dense blue black hairdo. She has no termination of herself. She does not transgress the regulations she set for herself. She is difficult to be attained without dedication, devotion. She is Durga, who is impossible to be crossed over and overcome. She annihilates all sorrows and miseries. She confers all comforts and happiness.
दुष्टदूर दुराचार शमनी दोषवर्जिता सर्वज्ञा सान्द्रवर्णा समानाधिगवर्जिता.
She distances herself from wicked people. She puts down all undesirable practices. She is flawless. She is omniscient. She is bountiful, merciful. She has none or nothing compared or superior to her.
सर्वशक्तिमयी सर्वमङ्गला सद्गतिप्रदा सर्वेश्वरी सर्वमयी सर्वमन्त्रस्वरूपिणी.
She is the very form of all energy. She constitutes all auspiciousness. She confers the beneficial ultimate salvation. She is the sovereign deity of all. She is the omnipresent in all. She is the very form and essence of all spiritual chants, which give protection to those who chant them.
सर्वेन्द्रात्मिका सर्वतन्त्ररूपा मनोन्मनी माहेश्वरी महादेवी महालक्ष्मीर्मठप्रिया.
She is inner power of all yantras, mystical objects conferring desired yields. She is the very form of all forms of ritualistic worship. She portrays the mental modifications of persons. She is the consort of Maheshwara, Shiva. She is the greatest of all deities. She is Mahalakshmi, goddess of wealth. She is the beloved of Shiva or Rudra.
महारूपा महापूज्या महापातकनाशिनी महामाया महासत्त्वा महाशक्तिर्महारथी.
She has a humongous form. She is worthy of worship by the exalted devotees. She disseminates totally all heinous actions. She exhibits a mystically elusive form. She is the quintessence of all that is good. She is the superior power. She confers the greatest of pleasure.
महाभोगा महेश्वर्या महावीर्या महाबला महाभद्र महासिद्धि महायोगेश्वरेश्वरी महातंद्रा.
She revels in the highest form. She possesses supreme sovereignty. She displays the supreme powers. She is tremendously mighty. She is of intelligence resembling a genius. She is endowed with all accomplishments of great magnitude. She is the supervening sovereign of the great masters of yoga. Mahatantra.
महामंद्रा महायंद्रा महासना महायागक्रमाराध्या महाभैरवभूषिता.
She is the deity of personal effective mysticism. She is the very form of highly efficacious chants. She is the repository of powerful mystic objects conferring desired yields. She is seated on the throne of the minds of great yogis and greatest repositories of philosophical truths. She is worshipped in the most superior sacrifice. Mahayagya is the Sri Vidya's internal worship. She is worshipped by the mighty Bhairava.
महेश्वर महाकल्प महातांडव साक्षिणी महाकामेश महिषी महात्रिपुर सुंदरी.
She is the witness to the supreme dance of Shiva at the time of dissolution of the universe. She is the queen consort of Kameshwara. She is Maha Tripura Sundari.
चतुष्षष्टि उपचाराढ्या चतुष्षष्टि कलामयी महाचतुष्षष्टि कोटि योगिनी गणसेविता.
She is to be worshipped by 64 applications of worship. She is the personification of the 64 forms of free arts. She is worshipped by 64 crores of yoginis, damsels in meditational mood, in each of the 9 Navayoni chakras, 9 internal triangles of the Shri chakra. She is the form of Sri Vidya revered by Manu. She is also the deity of Sri Vidya worshipped by the moon Chandra. She is the resident in the midst of Sahasrara, the fully bloomed lotus with its 1,000 petals appearing as the moon with all its 16 digits. She is exquisitely beautiful. She displays a charming smile. She sports the attractive crescent digit of the beautiful moon on her crown.
चराचर जगन्नाथ चक्रराज निकेतन पार्वती पद्मनयना Samaprabha.
She is the sovereign of the mobile as well as immobile entities of the universe. She has for her residence the emperor of chakras, namely Sri Chakra, in which she is the form of the Bindu, the dot. She is Parvati, the daughter of the Himalayan Parvata mountain. She sports a pair of eyes resembling the lotus. She has an effulgence comparable to the dazzle of the gem Padmarga. Patmaraga.
Panchapreda Sanasena Panchabrahma Sarogani Chinmayi Paramananda Vijnana Ganarobini.
Pancha Brahma is the state when Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra, Ishana, Sadashiva unite together with their respective powers. Lalita is the resident of all the five bodies. She is the personified form of Pancha Brahma. She is the very form of consciousness. She is the manifestation of the supreme bliss. She is the intensely dense form of the highest knowledge. She is the form of meditation, the one who meditates and the object meditated upon. She is beyond the pale of the righteousness and the unrighteousness. She is the omnipresent universal form. She is ever awake. She is also in the state of dream. She is the soul of subtleties. She is in the state of deep slumber. She is the form of the causal body. She is in the Turiya state, the fourth state beyond wakefulness, dreaming, and sleep slumber. She is also beyond all states. She is the creator. She is the very form of Brahman, the absolute. She has taken the form of Govinda the protector. She is the savior of the earth. She is the one who destroys. She is the form of Rudra, derived from anger. She conceals the secretive. She is the supreme sovereign. She is of ever auspicious nature. She confers grace on her devotees. She is immersed in the five activities of creation, sustenance, dissolution, concealment, and conferring of grace. She is located in the midst of the solar orbit. She is Bhairavi, the consort of Bhairava. She is also known as Bhagamalini, as the eternal deity. She is seated on the lotus. She is endowed with all prosperity. Bhagas are 6 in number: omnipotence, prowess, fame, auspiciousness, knowledge, detachment. And anyone possessing these is said to be Bhagavan or Bhagavati. She is the sister of Padmanabha or Vishnu. She creates as well as destroys the universe with her mere wink of her eyelids. She sports thousands of heads and thousands of faces. She possesses thousands of eyes and she has thousands of feet. She is the creator spanning from Brahma to the smallest worm. She is the one who has laid out the duties and responsibilities of the great classes of people at the various stages of life. She has ordained the pronouncements of the scriptures and the Vedas. She dispenses the fruits of virtuousness and non-virtuous actions. The dust of her lotus feet is the sindura of the partition of the hairdo of the scriptures, Vedas, considered as a woman. She is the pearl in the oyster containing the collection of all ritualistic scriptures.
അംബികാനാദിനിധന ഹരിബ്രഹ്മേന്ദ്ര സേവിത.
She is one conferring the four accomplishments of dharma, righteousness, wealth, desire, and salvation. She is perfectly complete with no shortcomings. She is the enjoyer of all that is to be enjoyed. She is the sovereign of the universe. She is the mother of the universe. She has neither a beginning nor an end in the form of birth and death. She is served, worshipped by Vishnu, Brahma, and Indra.
നാരായണീ നാദരൂപ നാമരൂപ വിവർജിത ഹ്രീകാരി ഹ്രീമതി ഹൃദ്യ യയോപാദേയ വർജിത.
She is the form of Narayana. She is the very form of cosmic sound. She is beyond all name and form. She is the Hrigara, personified Bijakshara Hrim. She is of shy temperament. She is the resident of the hearts of all beings. She is beyond all that which have to be avoided and all that which have to be absorbed.
രാജരാജാർച്ചിതാരാജ്ഞി രമ്യ രാജീവലോചന രഞ്ജിനി രമണീ രഹ്യാരണത്തിങ്കിനി മേഖല.
She is worshipped by the emperor and the kings. She is the queen consort of Kameshwara. She is charming and pleases all. She sports eyes resembling lotus. She casts her saffron hue on all. She is playful to her devotees. She infuses essence and sentiments in all. She wears a waistband with tinkling pearls producing sweet sounds.
രമാരാഗേന്ദുവദന രതിരൂപ രതിപ്രിയ രക്ഷാകരി രാക്ഷസഗ്നി രാമാ രമണലംബട.
She is the alter ego of goddess Lakshmi. She sports a face resembling the beautiful moon. She charms all like Rati, wife of Manmata, god of love. She enjoys affectionate love. She is the protector. She annihilates the demons. She pleases all in loving feminine nature. She revels in fondling conjugal love.
കാമ്യാ കാമകലാരൂപ കദംബ കുസുമ പ്രിയ കല്യാണി ജഗതി ഗന്ധ കരുണാരസസാഗര.
She is desired to be attained by meditation. She is the form of the art of love. She loves the Kadamba flower. She is auspicious herself. She is the root of the universe. She is the ocean of sentiment, of mercy and grace.
കലാവതി കലാലാഭ കാന്ത കാദംബരി പ്രിയ വരദ വാമനയന വാരുണി മദവിഹ്വല.
She has all the 64 arts in her repertoire. Her speaking is soft as lotus. She is attractively bright. She likes the intoxicating stimulant Kadambari. She confers boons desired by the devotees. She sports a pair of charming eyes. She revels in the bliss of the intoxicating stimulant Varuni.
വിശ്വാസിക വേദവേദ്യ വിദ്യാജല നിവാസിനി വിധാത്രി വേദജനനി വിഷ്ണുമായ വിലാസിനി.
She transcends the universe. She is to be realized by knowing of scriptures. She is the resident of the Vindhya range of mountains. She sustains the universe. She is the creator of the scriptures. She is the mystical illusion of Vishnu. She revels in a variety of enjoyable pleasures.
ക്ഷേത്രസ്വരൂപ ക്ഷേത്രേശി ക്ഷേത്രക്ഷേത്രജ്ഞപാലിനി ക്ഷേമൃത്യുവിനിർമുക്ത ക്ഷേത്രപാല സമർച്ചിത.
She is the personified form of Kshetra. She is the sovereign of the Kshetra. She administers both the field body and the knower of the knowledge of the field soul. She is free from reducing and also from expansion. She is devoutly worshipped by the protectors of the field.
വിജയ വിമല വന്ദ്യ വന്ദാരജന വത്സല വാഹ്വാദിനി വാമകേശി വന്യമണ്ഡലവാസിനി.
She is the ever victorious one. She is pristine, pure, and free from all taints. She is worthy of worship by all. She is affectionate to the devotee who worships her. She displays effective oratorical skills. She sports a charming hairdo. She is resident of the region of fire, Mooladhara Chakra.
ഭക്തിമത്കൽപ്പലതിക പശുപാശ വിമോചിനി സംപ്രദാശേഷഭാഷണ്ഡ സദാചാര പ്രവർത്തിക.
She is the Kalpa creeper, which is divine in fulfilling all desired wishes to her devotees. She releases all beings from worldly bondage. She destroys without any remnant all pretenders who have digressed from the path of righteousness. She organizes the observances and the preservation of the righteous conduct. She is the cool moonshine giving comfort to those afflicted by the three types of misery, internal or mental, created by the nature and inflicted by God. She is in the prime of youth. She is revered by the sages, immersed in penance. She spots a slim waistline. She dispels the darkness of all kinds, including ignorance. She is accomplished with the form of ultimate knowledge. She is the figurative meaning of the Tat in the Mahavakya. Tat Tvam Asi, though that thou art. This Mahavakya is the quintessence of Advaita principle of non-dualism. In this, that signifies Brahman. The implication is that the goddess Lalita is Brahman, for attaining which all those who meditate strive. She is the sole form of consciousness of the mind. She renders Brahmananda, the ultimate bliss, as a mere drop in the ocean of bliss of her own self. She is beyond all material entities having the form of sound. Channelizes the mental faculty towards the interior soul. She perceives all in her own form. She is most superior deity beyond all others. She is the center of all. She is the explicit form of words. There are 51 external locations for goddess Lalita as presiding deity. In the interior of the bodies, there are 4 important locations. In the Mooladhara, it is called Kamagiri. In the Anahata, known as Purnagiri, known as Jalandhara in Vishuddhi, and referred to as Odhyana in the Agneya Chakra. She is worshipped as Para, Pashyanti, Madhyama, and Vaikhari, respectively. She is the swan in the middle, in the mind of the devotee. Swans are supposed to be the holders of quintessence of knowledge, taking resort in the lake Manasarovar. She is the life channel of Kameshwara. She is omniscient due to her awareness of all actions. She is worshipped by Manmatha Kama, the god of love, in the Mooladhara Chakra called Kamagiri. She is full of Shringara sentiment, romance, in her location of Purnagiri in the Anahata Chakra. She is personified form of victory. She is in the Vishuddhi Chakra as Jalandhara. She is present as Odhyana in the Agnya Chakra. She is resident in the Bindu spot at the center of Sri Chakra and at the Brahmananda at the peak of the head. She is worshipped by mystical internal sacrifices. She is pleased by the chanting of mystical secret chants in the offering for pleasing. Satyaprasadini, Vishwasachini, Satyabhajita, Sharangadevada Yukta, Sharkunya Paribhurita. She confers favors promptly without delay. She is the witness of all the universe. She has no witness of any of her actions. She is associated with the deities of the 6 parts: heart, head, tuft of hair on the head, the protective armor, the eye, and the missile. She is replete with 6 merits: wealth, righteousness, renown, prosperity, knowledge, and detachment. She is ever merciful. She is uniquely incomparable. She confers the bliss of emancipation from birth and death. She has always the form of the 16 deity damsels. She is one half form of Shiva, having a charming blue neck.
प्रभावती प्रभापूरा प्रसिद्धा परमेश्वरी मूलप्रकृतिरव्यक्ता व्यक्ताव्यक्तस्वरूपिणी.
She is dazzling with the host of accomplishments surrounding her. She herself is the form of accomplishments. She is highly reputed. She is the supreme sovereign. She is the root of the fundamental elements of earth, water, air, light, ether, of the space. She is not seen as overtly manifested. She is seen in her manifest form as Mahat, which evolved from the root of fundamental element which is not manifest.
व्यापिनी विविधाकार विद्या विद्यास्वरूपिणी महागामेश नयन कुमुदाभादकौमुदी.
She is omnipresent. She exhibits a variety of forms. She is simultaneously the dual form of both knowledge and ignorance. She is the full moon which makes the lotus eye of God Kameshwara bloom in delight.
भक्तहार्दतमोपेदपानमत्पान सन्तति शिवदूते शिवाराध्य शिवमूर्ति शिवङ्करी.
She destroys the darkness of ignorance in the mind of the devotees, as similar to sun's rays which dispel the darkness of the world. She has the repute of having God Shiva himself as her emissary in the fight with the demons Shambhu Nishumbha. She is worshipped by Shiva himself and she is the form of Shiva. She is the very personified form of auspiciousness. She is the one who causes auspiciousness.
शिवप्रिया शिवपरा शिष्टेष्टा शिष्टपूजिता अप्रमेया स्वप्रकाशा मनोवाचा मगोचरा.
She is the beloved of Shiva. She is ever immersed in Shiva only to the exclusion of all others. She is adored by those who are well disciplined and good and righteous conduct. She is beyond all measures and description. She is self effulgent. She is beyond the reach of the mind and the speech.
चिच्चत्ति चेतना रूपा जडशक्तिर जडात्मिका गायत्री व्याकृति संध्यादिजवृन्दन सेविता.
She is the power of the mind. She is the form of the consciousness. She is the latent energy of non moving entities. She is the form of immobility in non moving entities. She is the seventh Vyahriti of Gayatri Mantra, one who protects the reciter of the chant. She is the merger of the human soul with Brahman. She is worshipped by Brahmanas. Dvija means twice born. Brahmanas are born first when they come into the world, and their second birth is after Yagnopavita.
तत्त्वासना तत्त्वमयी पञ्चकोशान्तरस्थिता निस्सीममहिमा नित्ययौवना मदशालिनी.
She has the philosophical truth as her seat. She has control over them. She is that and she is though and Ayi, the unity of the two, from the Mahavakya Tattvamai Asi. She is the internal resident of the five bodily shields. She possesses boundless power. She is ever in prime youth. She is lustrous with her exalting, exhilarating bliss.
मदपूर्णदरिक्ताक्षी मदपाटलगण्डको चन्दनद्रवदिग्धाङ्गी जाम्बेयो समप्रिया.
She sports a pair of reddish eyes rolling all around due to the delightful bliss. The bliss has made her cheeks rose in color. She has a shining body with the fragrance of sandal paste applied on it. She loves the fragrant champaka flower.
कुशला कोमलाकारा कुरुकुल्ला कुलेश्वरी गुणगुण्डालया गौरमार्गतत्परसेविता.
She is dexterously skilled. She has a very delicate, beautiful body. She is the form of Kurukula deity. Kurukula is the deity resident in the 22nd street of Tripura, who is the presiding deity of the fort of pride, and goddess Lalita is said to be her daughter. She is the goddess for the family dynasty. She is the resident of Kulakunda, which is the Mooladhara chakra, and its resident is Kundalini energy. She is worshipped by those dedicated to the Kaula tradition. In the tradition Sri Vidya, there are three paths: Samaya, Kaula, and Mishra. Kaula is expounded by the 64 mystical practices.
कुमारगणनाथाम्ब तुष्टिपुष्टिर्मदरद्रथे शान्ते स्वस्तिमती कान्तिपुञ्ज
She is the mother of Kumara, Skanda, and Ganapati. She is satisfaction personified. She is the presence of nourishment. She is the manifest form of Buddhi, intellect. She is courage herself. Peaceful disposition is her characteristics. She has perpetual welfare of her devotees. She is the very brilliance of lustrous dazzle. She is the form of Nandini, calf of Kamadhenu, the divine wishing cow. She eradicates all obstructions and hindrances.
तेजोवती तृणयना लोलाक्षी कामरूपिणी मालिनी हंसिनी माता मलया जलवासिनी.
She is the form of brilliance. She has three eyes. Her vision is threefold, taking her devotees through the southern path, northern path, and the Brahma path. She has the form of desire displayed by the roving eyes of damsels. She wears a garland representing the 51 syllables of the alphabet, Matrika. She is surrounded by Paramahamsas who have realized the Brahman. She is in the Hamsa mantra Soham. Hamsa reverberating with every breath. She is the universal mother. She resides in the Malaya mountains.
सुमुखी नलिनी शुभ्रूं शोकना सुरनायिका कालकण्ठी कान्तिमती शोभिनी सूक्ष्मयोगिनी.
She has a pleasant countenance. She is delicate like the stalk of lotus. She has a pair of charming eyebrows. She is a radiating beauty. She is the presiding deity for all gods. She is the consort of Shiva, who has a bluish black neck by retention of Kalakuta poison. Therein, she is brilliantly lustrous. She causes the creative agitation for the evolution of Prakriti, nature, during creation of universe. She is of subtle form.
वज्रेश्वरी वामदेवी वयोवस्था विवर्धिता सिद्धेश्वरी सिद्धविद्या सिद्धमाता यशस्विनी.
She is in the Jalandhara Pitha, Vishuddhi Chakra, as Vajreshwari. She is the beautiful consort of Kamadeva. Shiva in the Ardhanarishwara form has Parvati on the left half of his body. She is devoid of transformation owing to old age. She is the sovereign of accomplished souls. She is the form of Siddha Vidya, the Panchadakshari mantra. She is the mother of accomplished souls. She is highly renowned.
शुद्धिचक्रनिलया रक्तवर्णा त्रिलोचना खड्वाङ्गादिप्रहरणा वदनेन समन्विता.
She is the resident of the 13-petal lotus, Vishuddhi Chakra. She has a saffron hue. She sports three eyes. She is equipped with weapons like Khatwanga, a type of sword. She has a single countenance with no modifications.
पायसान प्रिया तुक्सा बशलोकभयङ्करी अमृतादि महाशक्ति समृता डाकिनीश्वरी.
She likes offerings of sweet porridge like payasam. She remains in the sensitivity of the skin. She is the generator of fear among the world of animal-like beings. She is surrounded by powerful 16 Shaktis. Beginning with Amrita, she is the sovereign Dakini.
अनाहताब्जनिलया श्यामा पावदनद्वया तक्षोज्जला क्षमालादिधरा रुद्रसंस्कृता.
She stays in the 12-petaled Anahata. She is a body of grey hue. She has two faces. She shines with the canine teeth. She wears garlands of rosary beads, etc. She is the controlling deity of blood in the living beings.
कालरात्र्यादिशक्त्योक्कवरदा स्निग्धौदनप्रिया महावीरेन्द्रवरदारागिण्यम्बासरोमिणी मणि.
She is surrounded by hosts of deities like Kalaratri. Her favorite food is cooked rice with ghee. She confers boons to great courageous personalities. She is in the form of Mother Rakini.
पूराब्जनिलया वदनत्रे संयुता वज्राधिकायतोपेता डाम्बर्यादिभिरावृता.
She resides in the 10-petaled Manipuraka chakra. She is triple-faced. She is equipped with weapons like Vajra, Thunderbolt. She is surrounded by 10 Shaktis, beginning with Damari.
रक्तवर्णा मां श्रेष्ठा गुढान प्रेरमानसा समस्तभक्तसुखदा
She has a reddish complexion. She is the deity of the essence in flood. Her favorite food is rice cooked with jaggery. She confers comforts to all devotees. She is in the form of Mother Lakini.
स्वादिष्ठानां भुजगदा चतुर्वक्त्रमनोहरा शूलाध्यायित सम्पन्ना पीतवर्णादिगर्विता.
She stays in the Swadhisthana chakra with its 16 petal lotus. She is charming with her four faces. She has weapons like the trident. She is of golden yellow complexion. She takes pride in her beautiful form.
मेदो निष्ठा मतुप्रीता बन्दिन्यादि समन्विता दिव्यन्ना सट्टहृदया कागिनी रूपधारिणी.
She is the essence of bodily fat. She relishes offerings of honey. She is surrounded by bandhini and other yoginis. She enjoys consuming cooked rice mixed with curd. She has the form of kakini.
मूलाधारां भुजारूढा पञ्चवक्त्रास्ति संस्थिता अङ्कुशादिप्रहरणा वरदादिनिषेविता.
She resides in the four-petaled Mooladhara chakra. She has a countenance of 5 faces. She is positioned in the bone. She is equipped with weapons like the gourd. She is served by the powers like Varada and other Shaktis.
उद्गौदना सत्तचित्ता सागिन्यम्बा स्वरूपिणी आज्ञाचक्राब्जनिलया शुक्लवर्णा षडानना.
She relishes cooked rice with green gram mixed with jaggery, coconut, cumin seed, ghee and milk. This preparation called mudgana. She has the form of Sakini. She resides in the Agya chakra. She is white in complexion. She has 6 faces.
मज्जा संस्था हंसवती मुख्यशक्तिसमन्विता हरिद्रा नैकरेसिका आगिनी रूपधारिणी.
She is positioned in the bone marrow. She is surrounded with deities like Hamsavati. She enjoys rice cooked with turmeric. She dons the form of Hakini.
सहस्रदलपद्मस्था सर्ववर्णोपशोभिता सर्वायुधधरा शुक्लसंस्थिता सर्वतोमुखी.
She is poised in the 1,000-petaled lotus at the cerebrum of the head. She dazzles in a variety of colors and hues. She is equipped with all weapons. She is in the Shukla, semen, which is in the origin and source of all creation. She has faces looking in all directions.
सर्वोदरप्रीतचित्ता यागिन्यम्बा स्वरूपिणी स्वाहा सुधा मदर्मेधा हृदय स्मृतिरनुत्तमा.
She has taste for all kinds of food. She bears the form of Mother Yakini. She is Swaha. She is Swadha, the sacred exclamation chanted while making oblations or to the Pitrus, the ancestors. She is nascence, ignorance. She is the genius. She is the scripture or the Shruti. She is the Smriti, the interpretations given on the scriptures to suit. She is unique and has none superior to her.
पुण्यकीर्ति पुण्यदिव्या पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तना पुलोमजार्चिता बन्धमोचिनी बर्बरालगा.
She has a reputation of virtuous merit. She can be attained by virtuous meritorious actions. She endows those who listen to recitations of her virtuous and meritorious deeds and adore her by singing her virtues and merits. She is worshipped by Pulomajja, Indrani, wife of Indra. She liberates from the worldly bondage of birth and death. She has curly wave-like hair.
स्वरूपिणी विद्या वेदादि जगल्प्रसू सर्वव्याधि प्रशमनी सर्वमृत्युनिवारिणी.
She has an implicit concealed appearance in the Ardhanarishwara form. Shiva has the explicit external appearance. She is knowledge itself in all forms. She created the cosmos beginning with the Akasha space and she eradicates all ailments. She dispels all types of deaths.
अग्रगण्या जिन्यरूपा कलिकल्मषनाशिनी कात्यायनी बालहन्त्री कमलाक्षनिषेविदा.
She is considered as the foremost of all. Her form cannot be contemplated by the mind. She destroys the blemishes and flaws of the Kali Yuga. She adorns the form of Katyayani in the Agnya Odyana Chakra. She overcomes times. She is propitiated by Vishnu, the lotus-eyed god.
मूलभूतमुखे दाडने उष्मप्रभा मृगाक्षी मोहिनी मुख्या मृडानी मित्ररूपिणी.
She has a charming mouth with the betel leaves and the auxiliaries like acacia nuts. She has the charm of the pomegranate flower. She has charming eyes like a doe. She charms the viewer with her exquisite beauty. She is the mukhya, the prominent one in creation. She is the consort of Mruda, Shiva. She confers pleasures and comfort. She is the very blazing sun herself. She performs the role of a friend.
नित्यतृप्ता भक्तबुद्धि नियन्त्री निखिलेश्वरी मैत्रादिवासनालिभ्य महाप्रवेशाक्षिणी.
She is ever in a satisfied and contented mood. She is the cherished treasure of her devotees. She controls all by regulating. She is the sovereign of all and everything. She can be attained by resort to friendship, kindness, and other such dispositions. She is the only witness to the ultimate great deluge at the time of dissolution of the universe.
पराशक्ति परानिष्ठा प्रज्ञानघनरूपिणी माध्वीवानालसा मक्ता मातृका वर्णरूपिणी.
She is the very form of most supreme power, beyond all others. She is the frontier of dedication and faith. She is the personified form of intense advanced knowledge. She is not conscious of the environmental conditions due to the effect of Madhu. She seems to be unaware of the environment due to the inward direction of her attention. She is propitiated as Matruka, which is analogous to the worship of her through Sri Chakra.
महाकैलासनिलय प्रणालमृदुदोर्लता महनीया दयामूर्ति महासाम्राज्यशालिनी.
She has the great Kailasha as her residence. The Brahmarandra at the peak of the head is considered to be Kailasha in which the goddess resides. She has arms so smooth resembling the lotus creeper stalk. She is worthy of being exalted. She is kindness personified. She is the regulator of mighty emperors.
आत्मविद्या महाविद्या श्रीविद्या कामसेविता श्रीषोडशाक्षरी विद्या त्रिगुणा कामगोडिका.
She is the spirit of knowledge of the soul. She is the Mahavidya, the ritual of propitiation by Navadurga, 9 Durgas. She is the very form of Sri Vidya, which is a specially significant reference to the Pancha Dashakshari mantra. She is served, worshipped by Manmatha, god of love. She is the form of Shodashakshari, propitiation through 16 syllable mantra. Ka e ilahrim hasakahalahrim sakalahrim. She adapts to groups of 3 parts. She is equal of Shiva and Shakti resident in the Kamakoti Pitha.
कटाक्षकिङ्करी बोधकमला कोटिसेविता चिरस्थिता चन्द्रनिपा पालस्ते धृतनप्रभा.
She is served by crores of Lakshmi, expecting a glance of grace from her. She is touched at the peak of the head as the Mahabindu in the Brahmarandra. She is like the full moon. She is positioned in the forehead. She is radiant as the rainbow with all its 7 colors.
हृदयस्थाने विप्रख्या त्रिकोणान्तरदीपिका दाक्षायणी दैत्यहन्त्री दक्षयज्ञविनाशिनी.
She is resident in the heart. She dazzles like the sun. She illuminates the center of the triangle in the Mooladhara chakra. She is Dakshayani, daughter of Daksha Prajapati, who later on becomes the consort of Vishnu, of Shiva. She annihilates the demons. She is the destroyer of the sacrifice of Daksha, who is her father.
करान्दोलदीर्घाक्षीधरहासो जगन्मुखी पुरमूर्तगुणनिधि गोमाता गुहजन्मभू.
She has laterally long eyes with little movement as if from tiresomeness. She has a face shining with a smile. She has the role of a perceptor. She is the repository of all virtues. She is the mother cow in the form of Kamadhenu. The Sanskrit word go has many meanings like heaven, moon, earth, truth, etc., which are all superior. And she is the mother of all these superior entities. She is the one who has given birth to the Guha or Kartikeya.
देवेशी दण्डनीतिस्तारहराकाशरूपिणी प्रतिपन्मुख्यरागान्तदितिमण्डलपूजिता कलाल्पिका कलानाथा काव्यालापविनोदिनी सचामररमावाणी सव्यदक्षिणसेविदा.
She is resident in the heart. She dazzles as the sun. She illuminates the center of the triangle in the Mooladhara chakra. She is Dakshayani, daughter of Daksha, and she is the destroyer of the sacrifices of Daksha. She has literally long eyes with little movement, as if from tiresomeness. She has a face shining with a smile. She is the sovereign of gods. She is the spirit of justice for punishing criminals. She is the form of the white sky encompassing the Vedas and therefore the Dharma itself. She is prayed to during the fortnight commencing from the day following the new moon till the day of the full moon. She herself is all the digits of the moon. She is the personified form of all arts. She is the ruler of all arts. She revels in the descriptions made in literature and poetry. She is served on the left side and right side by respectively by Lakshmi and Saraswati.
आदिशक्तिरमेयात्मा परमा पावना हृदि अनेक कोटि ब्रह्मांड जननी दिव्य विग्रह.
She is the primordial energy of the universe. She is beyond all measurements. She is the very soul. She is the most superior of all. She revels to the beings, the highest Brahman, by bringing it within the cognitive power. She sports the form of pure sanctity. She is the creator of many crores of universe. She has divine, charming personality.
क्लिङ्कारी केवला गुह्य कैवल्य पददायिनी त्रिपुरा त्रिजगद्वन्द्या त्रिमूर्तिसृदशेश्वरी त्रिच्छरी दिव्यगन्धाढ्या सिन्दूरतिलकाञ्चिता उमा शैलेन्द्रतनया गौरी गन्धर्वसेविता.
She is the Bija Mantra syllable cream. She stands by her own self, absolutely devoid of all attributions. She is highly sensitive. She confers the state of Kaivalya, the state of bliss generated by realization of the highest truth. She exhibits a three form of existence in all things. She is worthy of worship by all the three worlds. She has the form of all the three gods, the prime trinity. She is the sovereign of all gods.
विश्वकर्मा स्वर्णकर्मा वरदा वागणेश्वरी ज्ञानगम्या परिच्छेद्या ज्ञानदा ज्ञानविग्रहा.
She has the universe in her own womb. She has gods contained within herself. She declines any boon to the undeserving people. She is the sovereign of the faculty of speech. She can be attained through meditation. Her location in any specific form at any specific time cannot be predicted with certainty. She confers the highest knowledge. She is the personified form of the highest knowledge.
सर्ववेदान्त संवेद्या सत्यानंद स्वरूपिणी लोभामुद्रार्चिता लीला क्लिप्त ब्रह्मांड मंडला.
She is realized through all Upanishads. She is the very form of the highest truth and supreme bliss. She is prayed by Lopamudra, wife of sage Agastya. She creates all universes in a playful ease.
अदृश्यादृश्यरहिता विज्ञात्री वेद्यवर्जिता योगिनी योगदा योग्या योगानन्दा युगान्धरा.
She is not capable of being perceived by the noble faculty of vision. She does not have anything which is different from herself. She is the all-knower. She has nothing more to know, as she knows all. She is the manifestation of Yogini, who has merged herself with the Brahman. She confers knowledge and experience of yoga. She can be attained through yoga. She revels in the bliss of yoga. She attains all the four yugas, aeons.
इच्छाशक्ति ज्ञानशक्ति क्रियाशक्ति स्वरूपिणी सर्वाधारा सुप्रद
She is the concentrated form of the creative energy, knowledge energy, and action energy. She coordinates the desire with the knowledge to implement it and the action to execute it. She is the foundation and basis for all things. She is well established with eternal existence. She sports the form of truth, the divine reality, with the ephemeral, the practical reality.
अष्टमूर्तिरजाजयत्री लोकयात्राविधायिनी एकाकिनी भूमरूपा निर्द्वैता द्वैतवर्जिता.
She manifests herself in 8 forms. She has overcome ignorance. She causes the world to proceed forward. She is the one without a second. She is the form of Bhuma, which is the form of the Supreme Soul in the highest state of bliss, which does not see anything else, which does not hear anything else, and which does not know anything else. She renders everything free of duality. She is ever in the form of non duality.
अन्नदा वसुधा वृद्धा ब्रह्मात्मैक्यस्वरूपिणी बृहति ब्राह्मणे ब्राह्मे ब्रह्मानन्दादिप्रिया भाषा.
She is the giver of food. She is the giver of wealth. She is mature. She is a manifested form of the blending of the Brahman with the soul. She is majestically humongous in form. She is the consort of Shiva. She is the energy from of Brahma. She is the bliss of Brahma. She loves the offerings of the devotees. Bhasha Rupa Brihat Sena Bhava Bhava Vivarjita Sukha Radhri Shubha Kari Shubha Shobhana Sulabhagati.
रूपा बृहत्सेना भावा भावविवर्जिता सुखाराध्या शुभगरी शोभना सुलभागति.
She dons the mantle of language. She commands large fighting forces. She has neither birth nor death. She is easily propitiated by devotees. She confers all auspicious results. She is auspiciousness itself and is felicitated and attained.
राजराजेश्वरी राज्यदायिनी राज्यवल्लभा राज्यत्कृपा राजपीठनिवेशित निजाश्रिता.
She is Rajarajeshwari, the sovereign empress of all emperors. She confers the boon of kingdom. She adores the prosperity of a kingdom. She is the dazzling form of mercy. She raises her devotees to royal status and gets them seated on the royal throne.
लक्ष्मी घोषनाथा चतुरंगबलेश्वरी साम्राज्यदायिनी सत्यसंधा सागरमेखला.
She is the goddess of all prosperity of a kingdom. She is the chief of all treasures. She is the presiding deity of the 4 limbs of the arm. She commands them respectively in the form of Vasudeva, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, and Shankarshana. She confers the prosperity of a vast empire. She is committed to truth. She has the oceans for her grindle around her waist.
विच्छेदादैत्यशमनी सर्वलोकवशङ्करी सर्वात्रदात्री सावित्री सच्चिदानन्दरूपिणी.
She confers ordainment in the scriptures and other ritual practices. She brings all demons into submission. She brings under her charm control all the world. She confers all the expected glory and wealth of righteousness, wealth, desire, and salvation by emancipation. She is the effulgent Savitri. She is the quintessence of truth, consciousness, and bliss.
देशकाला परिच्छिन्ना सर्वगा सर्वमोहिनी सरस्वती शास्त्रमयी गुहाम्बा मुख्यरोहिणी.
She is not compartmentalized by space and time. She is omnipresent. She charms everyone into illusory attraction. She is the form of Saraswati, the goddess of discriminative wisdom and spiritual illumination. She is the very content of scriptures and can be attained through knowledge of scriptures. She is the mother Guha Kartikeya. She has a secretive, subtle form.
सर्वोपाधिविनिर्मुक्ता सदाशिवदेवता सम्प्रदायेश्वरी सात्वी गुरुमण्डलरूपिणी.
She is free of any attributes. She is the chaste consort of Sadashiva. She is the sovereign of traditional practice. She is of good temperament. She is expressive of the letter E, which is indicative of the art of love. She encompasses the region of perceptors.
कुलोत्तीर्णा भगाराध्या माया मदमदीमहि गणाम्बा गुह्यगाराध्या कोमलाङ्गी गुरुप्रिया.
She is the past, the group of 6 chakras, collectively Kula. She is worthy of worship in the orbit of the sun. She is primordial delusion. She is Madhumati, who is the 7th step in the ascent of yoga practice. She is the earth itself. She is the mother of hordes and the leader Ganapati. She is worshipped by Guhyakas, demigods. She has soft and delicate limbs of the body. She is the favorite of the preceptors.
स्वतंत्र सर्वतंत्रेशी दक्षिणामूर्तिरूपिणी सनगात समाराध्य शिवज्ञानप्रदायिनी.
She is independent, she is the sovereign of all tantras, mystic practices. She dons the form of Dakshinamurti. She is worshipped by the sages like Sanaka. She imparts auspicious knowledge. She imparts the knowledge of the true nature of Shiva.
चित्तदानन्दगलिका प्रेमरूपा प्रियङ्करी नामपारायण प्रीता नन्दिविद्या नडेश्वरी.
She is the segment of consciousness. She is the element of bliss in human beings. She is affectionate. She performs acts which induce love. She becomes pleased with the reactions of divine recitation of divine names. She is prayed to by Nandikeshwara, the bull vehicle of Shiva, for whom she was a preceptor. She is the consort of Shiva in his dance performances as Nataraja. She is the deity of dancing.
विद्या जगदधिष्ठाना मुक्तिदा मुक्तिरूपिणी यस्य प्रिया लेखरी लज्जरम्बादिवन्दिता.
She is the basis for this false illusory universe. She confers salvation by emancipation. She is the connoisseur of dance. She coordinates dance, its beats, and the dancing into single rhythm. She displays a shy disposition. She is saluted by Rambha and other celestial beings.
भवता वसुधा वृष्टिपापारण्यतवानला दौर्भाग्यतोलवातोल जराद्वान्तरविप्रभा.
She is the shower of nectar extinguishing the forest fire of birth and death cycle in this world. She is the fire to destroy the forest of sin. She is the whirlwind which blows away the fluff of cotton of misfortune. She is the sunlight which devours into the darkness of transformative life.
भाग्यार्तिचन्द्रिका भक्तचित्तकेकी खना खना रोगपर्वतदम्भोळि मृत्युदारिकुठारिका.
She is the moon for the ocean of prosperity. She is like a cloud for the peacock in the mind of her devotees. She is the thunderbolt which breaks up the mountains of diseases. She is the axe which fells the tree of death.
महेश्वरी महाकाली महाग्रसा महाशना अपर्णा चण्डिका चण्डमुण्डा सुरनिशोदिनी.
She is the supreme sovereign. She is the mighty Kali Devi. She devours in single mouthfuls. She consumes in large quantities. She is not indebted to anyone. She is infuriated. She is the slayer of the two demons, Chanda and Munda.
चराचरात्मिका सर्वलोकेशी विश्वधारिणी त्रिवर्गधात्री सुभगा त्रयम्बगा त्रिगुणात्मिका.
She is the soul of both perishable and imperishable entities. She is the sovereign of all worlds. She is the one who sustains the universe. She confers the triad of righteousness, wealth, and happiness. She is the form of all prosperity. She sports three eyes. She dons three forms of sattva, rajas, and tamas.
सर्गापवर्गदा शुद्धा जपा पुष्पनिपा गृही ओजोवती दुतिधरा यज्ञरूपा प्रियव्रता.
She confers place in heaven and also emancipation from the world cycle of birth and death. She is pristine pure. She has a complexion like the red rose. She possesses sharpness and strength of the senses. She is highly spirited with valor. She sports dazzling effulgence. She has the form of sacrifice. She loves vows and ritualistic observances.
आराध्या दुरादर्शा पाडली कुसुमप्रिया महदेवेदनिलया मन्दार कुसुमप्रिया.
She is worshipped with righteous procedures. She is difficult to be overwhelmed and overcome. She loves the flower, Patali tree. She is greatness personified. She is resident of the Meru mountain. Her great favorite is the Mandara flower.
वीराराध्या विराटरूपा विरजा विश्वतोमुखी प्रत्यक्षरूपा पराकाशा प्राणदा प्राणरूपिणी.
She is worshipped by courageous personalities or Vamacharins. She is a cosmic form. She is untainted. She has faces turned in all directions of the universe. She has form of inward vision. She dons the form of the transcendental ether. She confers life. She is the very form of life. She is worshipped by Martanda Bhairava. She entrusted the yoke responsibility of ruling the kingdom to Mantrini. She is the sovereign of Tripura, the three cities. She commands the fighting forces capable of conquering all enemies. She transcends all of them. She is beyond the three dispositions of Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. She is both absolute and also the relative. She is essentially the form of truth, knowledge, and bliss. She is poised in equanimity of temperament. She is consort of Kapardin Shiva. She wears the garland of arts and crafts. She is Kamadhenu, the wish yielding divine cow. She assumes any form she desires. She is the accumulated treasure of all arts. She is the art of poetry and literature. She is connoisseur of the nine sentiments, Navarasas. She is the treasure of nine sentiments. She is all well nourished. She is the most ancient one. She is worthy of worship. She nourishes all. She has lotus like eyes. She is the supreme light. She occupies the supreme position. She is the minutest atom. She is greater than the extreme gross universe. She is equipped with a lasso in her hand. She dispels all attachments. She repulses all the programmed missiles of the enemies. She has a manifested explicit form. She has a non manifested implicit form. She is pleased with the worship even through perishables. She is the swan in the reservoir of the mind of sages. She has vowed to resorting to truth only. She is the very form of truth which is imperishable. She is the very body in a concealed form. She is Sati, daughter of Daksha. She is the intensive form of the energy of Brahman. She is the form of Brahman itself. She is the creator of all. She displays a multitude of forms. She is pleased by enlightened people. She is the one who has delivered everything. She is severely infatuated or infuriated. She is the ordainment of scriptures. She is well and firmly established. She has explicit form visible to all. She is the sovereign life force. She infuses the life force in the body. She is established in the 50 sacred locations with different forms. She is unfettered. She is the resident of solitary, secluded location. She is the mother of courageous and the brave. She is the creator of the vast, limitless sky, Akasha. She is the deity conferring salvation. She is the repository of salvation. She is the basic form of all powers. Rajarajeshwari is the origin of all energy. She is the knower of all the feelings and emotions of the mind. She is the destroyer of all ailments recurring in the worldly cycle of birth and death. She facilitates the cycles of the world. She is the essence of the scriptures. She is the essence of all mystical chants. She has a slender waist. She has liberal and widespread reputation. She has infallible glory and wealth. She is the form of characters in the Panchadashakshari form. She gives relief to those scorched by repeated births, deaths, and old age. She is exalted as supreme in all Upanishads. She has an artistic form transcending peaceful countenance.
കൽപ്പനാരഹിത കാഷ്ടാകാന്ത കാന്താർത്ഥ വിഗ്രഹ കാര്യകാരണ നിർമ്മ.
She is too deep to be evaluated. She exists in all the spatial interstices. She is majestic personality. She has fascination for music. She is bereft of any elusive imagination. She is the deity forming the boundary of the universe. She is devoid of any fault. She is the left half body of her husband Shiva in his Ardhanarishwara form. Karya Karana Nirmukta. She is free from cause and effect concept. She is the wave in the ocean of playful rolls of Kameshwara. She is decorated by brilliantly shining armlets of gold. She displays a variety of forms in her playful disposition. She does not have birth or origin. She does not have death as her end. She is delightfully in appearance. She confers grace very expeditiously. She is capable of being prayed by inward worship. She is difficult to be worshipped by outward worship. She is the form of the three Vedas, Rig, Yajur and Sam. She is established in the three centers of righteous duty, prosperous wealth and bliss. She is the component of triads and triinities. She is the presiding deity of the three worlds. She is free of all ailments. She herself supports the existence of her own. She revels in the internal bliss of her own self. She is the stream of ambrosia. Sudha means spiritual nectar. She is adept in lifting up those stuck in the mire of worldly cycle of birth and death. She relishes sacrifices. She causes the sacrifice to be performed. She is the form of the master of the sacrifice. She is the foundation and support of the righteous duty. She is the presiding deity of all wealth. She enlarges the growth of wealth and food grain. She loves the seeker of knowledge. She causes the rotation and revolution of the universe. She devours the universe at the time of delusion. She has luster like coral. She is the underlying energy in the form of Vishnu. She is Vishnu herself. She has no origin for birth. She is the origin of all entities born. She is changeless. She is in the group of Vagbhava, the first 5 letters of the Pancha Shakshari mantra. She is the form of Kula, the base of the 6 chakras. She is fascinated by groups of valorous persons. She is valorous herself. She is detached from all action. She is the form of sound vibration. She generates knowledge of specialization. She is skilled in all arts. She is dexterously clever. She is the resident of Bindu in the Sahasrara Chakra. She transcends all truths and is beyond all of them. She is the personified form of ultimate truth. She demonstrates the importance of the union of Paramatma and Jivatma, the human and the soul, the supreme soul. And as expounded by Mahavakya Tattvamasi, she is the contour of Samagana. She is an exquisite as the moon. She is the object of worship in Soma sacrifices. She is the consort of Sadashiva. She is in the act of creation, dissolution, and sustenance of the universe. She is the eliminator of all hazard. She is well poised within her own self. She is of sweet temperament by inherent nature. She is enterprisingly courageous. She is well prayed by the valorous. She is worthy of being worshipped by offering of consciousness. She is enamored by the flowers of consciousness. She is ever in a wakeful state. She is perpetually satisfied and pleased. She is of slightly saffron but predominantly bright white complexion. She is worshipped by the scholars and uneducated. She sports a face resembling the just bloom lotus. She is in the form of both Kaula and Kevalla, school of Dharma. She confers spotless and valuable salvation from the worldly cycles of birth and death.
स्तोत्रप्रिया स्तुतिमती सुसंस्तुतवैभवा मनस्विनी मानवदी महेशी मङ्गलाकृति.
She relishes poems and hymns in praise of her. She confers sharp intelligence to those who exalt her with verses. She is adored with the glorious, highly praised in the scriptures, Vedas themselves. She is extremely broad minded and liberal. She is highly prestigious with a sense of grandeur. She is great sovereign. She dons the form of auspiciousness.
क्षमादा जगद्धात्री विशालाक्षी विरागिणी प्रगल्भा परमोदारा परामोदा मनोमयी.
She is the mother of the universe. She sustains the world. She sports a pair of wide eyes. She has a dispassionate and detached temperament. She is enterprising. She is generously liberal. She is the repository of the highest bliss. She is the basis of the functioning of the mind.
व्योमकेशी विमानस्था वज्रदेवा महेश्वरी पंचयज्ञप्रिय पंचप्रेतमञ्चादिशायिनी.
She is the consort of Shiva. She stays at immeasurable height. She is the form of Indra's consort. She is the sovereign of the devotees who follow the left path of worship. She is the lover of the five forms of sacrifice. She reclines in a bed supported by the five gods Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra, Ishvara, and Sadashiva.
पंचमी पंचभूतेशी पंचसंज्ञोपचारिणी शाश्वती शाश्वतैश्वर्य सर्वदा शम्भुमोहिनी.
She is the life essence, consort of Sadashiva, who was the fifth of the Panchabrahmas. She is the sovereign of the Panchabhutas, the element fire, air, water, space, and earth. She is worshipped with five different offerings: fragrance, flowers, incense, lamp, and food and drinks. She is eternal. She is endowed with eternal and never perishing prosperity and sovereignty. She gives everlasting happiness. She is the enticer of Shiva.
धराधर सुधा धन्य धर्मिणी धर्मवर्धिनी लोकातीता गुणातीता सर्वातीता समात्मिका.
She is the earth, she is the daughter of the mountain, she is the possessor of all glories and prosperities. She is ever immersed in and committed to Dharma. She is the promoter of the development of Dharma. She has transcended all the worlds and beyond all of them. She is beyond all dispositions of Sattva, Rajas, Tamas. She is beyond all, transcending all of them. She is quintessence and peaceful temperament.
बद्धूककुसुमप्रख्या बालालीला विनोदिनी सुमङ्गली सुखकरी सुवेशट्या सुवासिनी.
She is bright like the Banduka flower. She has the eternal youth form of Bala Ambika. She revels in the play of the universe. She confers all auspicious endowments. She organizes all comforts and happiness. She is decorated attractively with good ornaments. She is the deity who is always well adorned in the form of a married damsel.
सुवासिनार्चना प्रीता शोभना शुद्धमानसा बिन्दुदर्पणसन्तुष्टा पूर्वजातर्पराम्बिका.
She is the deity becoming satiated with worship by the Suvasins. She has perfectly total effulgence. She is pristine and pure mind. She is satiated with the offerings to her at her Bindu residence in Sahasrara Chakra. She is the most ancient preceding one of all. She is the form of Tripurambika. She is the presiding deity of the three states of the body, gross, subtle, and causal. She is also the presiding deity of the three states, wakeful, dream, and slumber.
दशमुद्रा समाराध्या ध्रुवरा शैव शङ्करी ज्ञानमुद्रा ज्ञानगम्या ज्ञानज्ञेय सरोहिणी.
She is extremely well propitiated with the 10 postures of the hand. She has brought under her sway the prosperity of Tripura. She is the posture of spiritual knowledge. Chinmudra posture of Dakshinamurti. She can be attained through spiritual knowledge only. She is the spiritual knowledge itself and what is to be realized as spiritual knowledge, the sight as well as the object to be seen. She is the essence of the yoni gesture. She is the sovereign of the threefold posture. This is the all encompassing posture called the Samsthi Mudra, composing of fire, sun, and moon. She is the disposition of Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. She is the supreme mother. She has attained the form of a triangle. She is devoid of sin. She has a wonderful character. She confers all things which are wished for. She is capable of being attained through constant meditation and other spiritual disciplines. She portrays a form transcending all the six avenues of Varna, Pada, Mantra, Kala, Tattva, and Bhuvana. She extends her grace without any inquiry into the cause or necessity for it. She is the lamp which eliminates the darkness of ignorance. She is simple and well acquainted even to children and cowherds who are simple souls. She is the repository of authority which cannot be violated or transcended by anyone. She is the resident of the royal shield chakra. She is the glorious prosperity. She is the most exquisite, handsome deity of Tripura. She is Tripura Sundari. Salutations to Lalitambika, the mother of all. She is the blessed. She is also the combined intensive power and energy of Shiva and Shakti.
Lalita Sahasranamam Stotram Sampurnam Om Parashakti Namam.
This completes the Sri Lalita Sahasranamam Sotram. Thank you.